All right, guys, things are heating up in the Middle East. Oil prices are up. We have some CPI data coming up. We have a lot of stuff that's happening with the clarity bill. Trump has signaled that they may be positioning to put more troops inside of Iran. So there's some few things that we got to cover today, guys. Again, I said this in the Discord today. I typically do not like to cover geopolitical news and events, guys. Look, there's just a lot of things that I myself don't know from a cultural difference between, two different, parts of the world. But, look, I'm a trader and I'm an investor, and I have to do this, as far as for me and my community to keep everybody up to date with what's going on. And just always remember, guys, I will try my best to be totally unbiased, from information. We're all going to come with facts and try to speak, of solutions only to navigate through this market, guys. At the end of the day, look, I'm not the person to be saying what side is right or wrong. The only thing that I'm really focused on right now, guys, is making sure that we stay up to date with what's happening in the crypto markets. We get the information that we need, and then you guys make the best suitable decision, what's best for your portfolios and stuff like that, guys. And just always remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a regular guy that's on YouTube talking to you guys, giving you guys my thoughts and insights on what's happening. So if that sounds good to you guys, please make sure to always smash the likes. Make sure to sub, make sure you turn your notification bells on, and make sure you hit that hype button that they got below into the comment sections. You boys, I don't know if I'm shadow man or something like that, but I have not been able to get my outreach out to a lot of investors and even just everyday people that are just trying to understand more about crypto. So if you guys could help me out with that, I'd really appreciate it. I started trying to move around the lighting a little bit, trying to show you guys a little bit more of my little space over here. So I hope you guys appreciate some of the collectibles that I have in the bag. Dragon Ball, big Pokemon investor, guys, and I just wanted to slowly open up the room a little bit more. Eventually we'll get some better lighting and stuff like that, but I just wanted to share those things with you guys. Okay, so real quick, guys, a lot of stuff has transpired over the week. We've had a lot of stuff coming out between things that Trump's talked about with, potentially putting boots on the ground. I know a lot of people are kind of, caught off guard by that. I myself is one. I do have a son that's in the military, so these are things that I'm starting to just not, I wouldn't say get real fearful, but I am concerned. And like I said, we do have midterms coming up this year, and this definitely will not be a positive catalyst for the administration. Also, on Google search trends, the Epstein files are potentially at their lowest point since last year. So people have showed that their attention spans are maybe not too long. People have completely forgot about the Epstein files, and now the whole oil and all this talks of wars and stuff like that are starting to overshadow, all the Epstein list stuff like that. So I found that pretty interesting. But like I said, my whole purpose of this video today, guys, is just share some information with you guys, give the crypto community a little bit of hope, and try to see if we can try to stay level-headed in these crazy markets. So let's not waste any more time with the formalities. Like I always say, guys, in all my videos, let's get into this. All right, so right here, this is Mario Nafal's oil refineries and deposits are being targeted in Iran. There's a lot of black cloud smokes in the Iran area, so things are looking very, very scary over there, almost apocalyptic, guys. So just make sure you guys are keeping, the innocent people in Iran in your thoughts and prayers, guys. Again, this is not, taking sides or anything like that. I believe that everybody, that's innocent should be able to, be safe. So my prayers are with, the United States, Israel, and, even the people of Iran, the innocent people. So, I wish that we could get this figured out. Fortunately, this is just the way things are. So at the end of the day, we just got to be hopeful. This is what I was talking to you guys earlier about. Iran's preparing for major missile drone escalation. Remember, they have the Channel Hormuz closed down. This is going to cause oil prices to rise up. If we start seeing $150 a barrel, again, guys, we go back historically, back in 2022, or I think 2020, I'm sorry, this caused massive drawdowns in the stock market. But again, through history serves us well. These are all obviously good times to start investing. So, before you guys start panic selling, I'd always advise you guys to please make sure you have a strategy. I don't always like to say panic sell, but I would always like to say, look, you could make it a strategic decision. Now, maybe that decision might not come out good for you. The decision, in my opinion, should have been made a couple days ago when Ethereum was at 2122. But like I said, at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen. If things start getting more intensifying down there in that area, we can definitely see an 1800, 1700 Ethereum again. So just make sure, again, guys, that you are factoring in all these decisions that you make. And this right here, guys, was from Crypto Rover. Again, Google searches showing that the Iran conflict is overshadowing the Epstein files. I found that pretty, interesting. And then this was another article, guys, explaining how the United States may be sending in ground troops to, seize uranium from Iran. So definitely some scary stuff that's popping off over there. But some good news, guys, is Visa expands blockchain cards to 100 countries. So I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this. Obviously this is great for crypto, but fortunately these guys want you to spend your crypto. For me, I'm gonna be saving, DCAing, and put it in a cold wallet. But like I said, it's getting more adoption. I know some of the price is not reflecting that at the moment, but like I said, this is showing us that we are having global adoption, as well as good old Walmart even joining in on some of the fun as well.
And just the ease of which regular folks, people who go to Walmart, there are 150 million Americans who use Walmart online or in person every week, can now actually have crypto in the very same app. They can buy it, they can hold it, they can store it, they can trade it if they want. And then when they want to go pay for something, they can, turn it into cash and like we said, go, OnePay is actually integrated into the checkouts of Walmart. So it is, I think, a milestone in that case, Carl.
So definitely good news to hear, guys. Again, adoption's happening. A lot of these big box chains are going to start adopting crypto. A lot of these, places, like Walmart, like I said again here, they are adopting Bitcoin and crypto. I find it a little funny that they're doing this and they still can't get Apple Pay, but nonetheless, crypto is being adopted. So make sure you guys are still not giving up hoping on this. I think that eventually things will end up coming to pass. We just got to be a little patient. Okay, so other news, Coin Bureau is saying that Britain only has 2 days left of gas in their reserves. I don't know if there's anybody from the UK that is watching the channel or in the Discord. You guys can let us know if this is fake news or not. Please make sure you let us know in the comment sections below. I'm very curious to see if this is real accurate data. Also, Cointelegraph is saying that the stablecoin market just hit a new all-time high, $313 billion. So all this reserve capital is on the sidelines. Guys, please make sure if you have reserve sideline money like that, you are buying the tokens that we are in, especially AVAX. We need to get that sucker back up to where it was originally. Also, guys, this is something that I probably need to make a YouTube video on. I am currently working some stuff out with a partner with, taxes. The 1099 DA, this is a lot of confusion and a lot of people that are getting kind of concerned about what is a 1099 DA. I won't have enough time to cover it on this channel, but like I said, I will be working on explaining what it is between, the contributions and, the profits and all that stuff like that, and how you can do your taxes. I know it's going to be a big mess. Even Brian Armstrong has kind of spoke out against it. So as long as you're doing a lot of your buying and selling on Coinbase, they'll be able to track a lot of your profits and losses. But if you're using wallets and other crypto exchanges and moving money around, you're going to need to update your prices and make sure that you guys are connecting to some type of coin tracker that will help you keep tracks of your profit and losses. Okay, don't get in trouble with the IRS, because two things that are certain in this world: we die, we pay taxes. And also, Vitaly Buterin has said that crypto will fail if it does not focus on real world use instead of gambling. I talked about this a lot with some people in my Discord. I truly believe that a lot of the crypto markets are suffering now because people have went into the prediction markets, things like Kalshi, Polymarket and stuff like that, DraftKings and stuff like that. People are more inclined to bet now. I guess the way they think of things is they have a 50-50 shot. But like I said, not that I have anything against that, guys, but just remember, at the end of the day, if the markets go down, I still hold my tokens, I still hold my stocks. If you lose a prediction market bet, you lose your money. There is no ifs, ands, and buts about it. Especially there was a big controversy with Kalshi not too long ago, I guess, with one of the missile strikes or something like that. They ended up having to refund all their people back. So I'm not saying it's a scam, but just remember, guys, there's nothing or no substitute to investing. So, like I said, I think it's good to have a diverse portfolio. Again, I've talked about this many times on the channel. I have a lot of crypto. I have a lot of stocks. I also hold a lot of, speculative, memorabilia, collectibles, and stuff like that. And also, too, I do use prediction markets a little bit, but that is a very, very, very small part of my portfolio, okay? So I just want to make sure you guys are not skipping and staying fundamental here, with investing. Like I said, in my opinion, that's the only way to do it. Okay, and just real quick, we do need to cover Bitcoin and Ethereum real quick. These are the two most important cryptocurrencies that we need to make sure that we're keeping an eye on. So let's cover these real quickly, guys. I have a support line right here at 66,500. We start to break below there, guys. I'm expecting us to come back down here to the 65,000 region. Remember, if this level's lost, then we can expect to come back down here to the 63,800 zone. Look, I'm going to go on a limb, guys, and continue to say that I think that, as long as we stay above that 64,000 level, we can assume, I'm not saying it's 100% certainty, guys, that maybe potentially the bottom could be in. I see a lot of people saying, we can go back lower, and definitely, that's a possibility, but there has to be a point to where, look, we're almost in March, we're getting closer and closer towards midterms, and a lot of this Clarity Act, we are expecting some type of relief rally, potentially back here to 90,000. Even a lot of people are expecting even 98,000, which would be almost a full 100% return. And then from there, I'm sorry, not 100%, 50% return. And then from there, you get the cataclysmic drop. So definitely a possibility. And Ethereum, guys, it's still the same, guys. I've talked about this many times. The thesis is still the same. Still expecting somewhere between, 1,400, maybe the 1,600 zone on Ethereum. But Ethereum has been holding up well. We've been holding up this trend line very well until we start dropping below this, 1,900 zone. We could maybe be expecting maybe 1,850, even down here to 1,800 flat. But Ethereum, in my opinion, is still looking good. Not looking good, but it's looking decent. It's not mutilated like a lot of these other altcoins. So, the object, like I said, for us to get back up to this 3,000 level, this would be able to give a lot of people the opportunity to get out of their positions. Remember, guys, Bitmine and all these guys were top blasting here at 4,000, and you see them buying down here at this lower level. This signifies that, once they get back here at this 3,000 zone, this would probably be an area for most investors to want to get out. Don't get sucked into this. Ethereum's going back to 7K or 6K stuff. We got to make sure that you guys are being a little laced up on all this information, because at the end of the day, people that have those kind of mindsets are going to get wrecked. So keep these levels noted down in your little notepads, and we'll keep you guys laced up. Now, it's been a while since we've talked about crypto coins and got on CoinMarketCap and talked about, things that we're looking at, guys. It's been real slow, so I figured, hey, let's bring it back. And for you guys that are new, it's kind of, repetitive for OGs, but guys, you need to use CoinMarketCap. I've seen a lot of times where I'll post plays or like, hey guys, we're looking at this token. Hey, Jump, where do you find this at? Jump, I don't know where to get this token at. Download CoinMarketCap. Pause the video, go download it. This helps you keep track of your buy and sells, your profit and losses. And then also too, you can look up crypto tokens. You'll go here, download it. You can upload your portfolio in there, and then you can go into this little search section, type in TAO, T-A-O, and you get all the basic information right here. You get to see the market cap, you get to see the volume, you get to see the circulating supply, all these things that make it very important to learn how to know and understand crypto. A lot of times people don't understand, fully diluted and all these other things that are very important to buying and investing in crypto. We won't cover them today. If you guys are sub to the channel or part of the Discord, maybe we'll drop some Discord exclusive stuff for that. But again, people will be like, Jump, where do you find TAL at? You go in here, you can click markets, and it'll tell you exactly where you can buy it. You can buy this on Coinbase, you can buy it on Mexi, or you can buy it on our favorite exchange, Bittensor. Links below. And then, like I said, you can get updates on TAO, what makes Tau good, what is Tau, all the kind of things that you need to know about the crypto asset, you can ask the CMC AI. I wouldn't be asking for entry levels. You can leave that to me, but this is a great rundown of kind of defeating, watching YouTubers that tell you what the token is and you actually doing the work yourself. You finding out what the token is and then doing some investigation works, and then you can use like the trading view tool that they have in here, and it will show you, everything that you need to know, guys. You have the 1 hour, the 15-minute time frame, and you guys can kind of go in here and see like, oh, okay, hey, we might have some resistance here at 191, or hey, we have some good support down here at 166, and it helps you, like an all-in-one to stay ahead of the curve. And then you got, token unlocks. It tells you when the token unlocks are coming up, guys. Token unlocks are like, pushing out more of the coin into the open. So remember, more tokens that unlock makes more buying pressure to push the price up. Okay. So yeah, like I said, keep an eye on this one. Tau is probably one of the best AI tokens that are out there. And then also KEETA. No shots at XRP. I love XRP, but this is also the counter to XRP. KEETA is on the base network, and a lot of times what we talk about, guys, is market cap. The market cap of XRP is 82 billion. The market cap of KEETA is $114 million. As an investor, as somebody that's trying to make money in this space, would you rather go into something that has an $82 million market cap or $114 million market cap? Big difference, a lot of more upside gain. Again, guys, you can use the markets to find out where it's at. You can get it on Coinbase. You can swap for it on, the Uniswap exchange. You'll need to make sure you have Ethereum as gas. I think it's on VenuX. I'm not sure. We can double check, make sure if it is or if it's not. But like I said, guys, KEETA is a great project. It's on the base network. If you guys like Aerodrome, VVV token, even Morpho, this is in the same network. And again, Coinbase is going to be doing big things. So if you believe in Coinbase and you like the base network, this definitely needs to be part of your portfolio. And last but not least, parcels. Guys, we just hit 92% in the Discord. If you guys were tapped in, literally, I think under 2 weeks, in the last 4 days, it did 92% recovery. So people that were buying that low, man, they got 30-40% in the Discord. So if you guys were part of that lucky group that was paying attention, staying laced up, please leave some love in the comment sections below. Like I said, I love to see people win. I love to see people make money. But like I said, unfortunately, there's some people out there that just, they don't want to do it. And like I said, nothing wrong with that, guys. I'm here to encourage you guys, but, you guys got to make the first move and stay tapped in. So very, very small market cap, 6 million. That's very small, guys. With all these token unlocks and stuff like that, again, it's kind of bled the coin down. But we were looking at specific buy levels on this coin. If you guys are tapped into the Discord, you know exactly where these levels are. We talk about them all the time. This has not been the first time, guys, that we've done this. We've done this many times here. We did it right here. We did it right here. We did it right here. And then we did it right here. Each time, guys, we got anywhere between 60 to 120% returns. This one was massive here. We had this one back in January. So every month we get them, guys. We had one in January. We had one in February. And we had it right there in March. Now, there's something very specific about these 3 months and it's almost identical situations. I'm not going to say too much here. If you guys want more sauce, you guys will have to be in the Discord chatting up with me. But like I said, guys, we're taking advantage of this and we're making money. Like I said, hey, if you guys want to be part of that, you guys can tap in and make sure you guys are staying up to date with all the crypto news. Like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not these bigger YouTubers. I don't have the, fancy edits and stuff like that, but we do print and we do make money. So if that sounds good to you guys, make sure you're tapped in, follow the links, do your own homework, learn how to find me, learn how to get yourself inside the Discord, the KGU or Crypto Plebs, either or, it doesn't matter. You get the same results every time. Like I say, guys, the markets suck. There's a lot of stuff that's happening, but we have to kind of plan accordingly, stay up to date, maneuver, pivot, and sometimes, make calculated decisions that will end up paying off in the long run. That sounds good, guys. Please make sure you, again, leave some likes, leave some love, and we will talk soon. Remember, I think we have a live trading session this week. We have some things that we want to, bring out to the family. So if you guys are tapped in with your boy, we'll see you later.